Welcome to Lycomingfootball.com. We're going into week number 5. Mike Clark, we're talking to head coach Mike Clark. It's hard to believe we're almost halfway through the season. It sure does go.
Yeah, it really flies, John. I mean, it's I can't believe it either, but you factor in preseason, and we've been here not quite 2 months, but it does go fast.
Let's switch over to Lycoming. The biggest thing in the offense I've seen this year is it seems like Tyler Jenny has a lot more time to pass and pick up his receivers.
Yeah, I would agree with that, John. We've, I think it's a combination of things. I mean, we're deeper and healthier on the offensive line than we were last year, and those guys are able to practice more and are playing with a lot of confidence right now. And and not to knock anybody that we've played, because Wilkes' defensive line was very good and Albright's defensive line was very good. But this will be our biggest challenge. I think Stevenson, again, collectively is the best defense that we've played. So, hopefully we'll be able to carry that over against, some of the stronger defenses in the league, which we'll face the next couple of weeks.
Is a plan against a team that has a great running defense, maybe throwing 60% passing, 70% passing to loosen up for the run?
I think there's something to be said for that, John. But, if we want to run 70 plays a game and we throw the ball 60% or 70% of the time, then that means we're throwing the ball 40 times, 40-plus times, and that's definitely not what we want to do. So I think we need to be smart about when we throw, understand what we've done, what they're seeing us do, understand our tendencies, and not that you don't do certain things, but, know what they're practicing and use that information along with the things that we think we can do to them to try to execute the best possible, game plan that we can against them.
Again, Lycoming's wide receivers, I just love watching 5 or 6 guys that are just top-notch. Sometimes we haven't caught that one that we really need, and I know you've said that to be a great receiver, you got to be hauling some of those in. Yeah,
I mean, to become a great passing team, John, you got to get them all. And so last week, look, we didn't throw the ball last week as well as we would have liked, yet we still completed 60% of our throws and threw close for close to 200 yards. So we think we're very skilled at receiver, at tight end. The running backs all catch the ball pretty well, and we just need to be smart about the plays that we're calling and the situations that we're putting our players into.
I know one area I'm sure you've been working on is special teams. Mm-hmm. Any insight there? There's been some maybe lack of focus.
I don't know that it's a lack of focus, but it is an area of concern right now. We spend a lot of time in those areas, John, and the biggest challenge is a couple things. One is that Zach Zapp graduated, who was the best punter that we've had in a long, long time, and so we're trying to replace him with, a couple different guys really have punted the ball this year. And from a snapping standpoint, we've not been as consistent snapping the ball as we would like to be. But those are points of points of emphasis for us this week, as they have been in the past. And hopefully the emphasis on those will be shown by improvement in those areas on Saturday afternoon.
When you're setting up a game plan for Saturday. Mm-hmm. How much influence does Steve Weiser have on maybe shedding light on another opponent's defense? Does he get into any of that or not really?
We might talk about what we think people are trying to do and use each other to say.
He has great experience in defense.
Sure, he does. No, he does. At the same time, he's mostly consumed, John, and trying to figure out what the other side of the ball is doing. But we'll always bounce questions off of each other. Hey, it looks like I may, as an offensive coach, ask Steve or ask one of our defensive coaches, this is what we think they're doing. What are your thoughts on that? Is there a way, how can we take advantage of that? Can you look at this and see if that's what you think they're doing? And that works on both sides of the ball. So I think we have a really good staff, a very knowledgeable staff. And, we are typically very specific to the side of the ball that we're on. But, there are times where we consult each other and, use each other as a resource.
Someone requested that I start a get to know Mike Clark section, so
Sure.
they suggested I should ask this question.
Yeah, let's see where we go here.
If you had all the money you needed, where would you go on vacation for a week?
Wally World.
You're not serious, are you?
No, well, that's a tell you a little something about the movies I like.
Okay.
Wow, all the money that I needed.
Maybe you want to tell us next week.
Yeah, no, John, I would probably say, maybe back to Jamaica. My wife and I went there for our honeymoon, back to one of the islands. Take the kids. My wife would love for me to say a cruise, but I'm not a cruise guy. I'd rather fly somewhere and be somewhere. But I wouldn't mind going back to some kind of, some resort, all-inclusive resort at a nice tropical destination. I'd be okay with that.
Okay. Well, good luck Saturday. I know this is when we get into the nitty-gritty of MAC football. One team is going to walk away. Both teams are undefeated, but only one's going to come out Saturday at the top.
Yep, yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but we're going to do our best to figure it out. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay, all the best, Mike.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
This has been a production of Lycomingfootball.com.